Here it is, the beginning of Mardi Gras. Lots to talk about. But first, it is time I speak on an issue of some importance, at least to me, that has taken on way too much importance to other people. I have remained silent as long as I possibly can. A number of you have asked me to speak out earlier, and I told you that I would as soon as I could. Against the better, and may I say very expensive advice of my attorneys, I'm going to do that right now, at least on the issues that I think are of most importance to this story. Now, for those of you who don't know what in the world I'm talking about, that's the reason I never address the issue. That's one of two. Why give someone else the satisfaction of spreading the rumors that they spread to your own audience? The only opinions that matter to me are my friends, my family, the company I work for, and the people who listen to the show and the sponsors who support it. I don't care what people see on some TV station. It's of no consequence to me. Does it affect their opinion of me? I'm sure it does. Will they ever bother to ask, well, if someone said it, does that make it true? Who cares? Honestly. Imagine how much good you can do in the world if you stop worrying about what people think of you. And that's truly how I feel. And if someone thinks ill of me, I came to the conclusion quite some time ago, I just don't care. I want the love of my family, my true friends. I want to be supported by my company. I want to make my advertisers proud. And those listeners who enjoy coming to the show, I want to put the best show on that we can every single day. And we do. When we fail, wasn't for a lack of trying. Well, it is sweeps week. That's when the TV stations are rated based on viewers. So that's when the over-the-top stories come out. Your child could die while sleeping tonight at 10. A week ago, the fourth-place TV station in Houston apparently ran out of house fires to report on. So they decided to do a hit piece on me. Where'd they get that information? Unnamed sources. Well, I might start making up some unnamed sources stories about that station of some things I've heard. Their story begins like this. Michael Berry, popular conservative talk host. Okay, pretty good so far, but usually when you say conservative, you're going to try to trash it. Michael Berry, popular conservative talk host, accused of hit and run. Okay, somebody apparently did make an accusation, but that's not the story. Michael Berry, popular conservative talk host, accused of hit and run at gay bar. Not a bar, a gay bar. Gay bar, gay bar, gay bar, gay bar. So many times in the story, I lost count. Hell of a story. Great headline. Local newspaper said Michael Berry rammed a car. Oh, that's clever. I like that. Almost something I would write. Very, very clever. Nice wordplay. You get the sexual innuendo of gayness all up in it. Who cares if it's true? Was the car actually rammed? Was that the allegation? Were the cars trashed? Was it all true because someone said it was true? Was there anything to the story that wasn't reported? Do the police reports and the TV stories, do they all line up? When you post the police report and someone's home address and VIN number and every bit of personal information you could possibly find about them without regard to the fact that it might possibly endanger them, do you ever check to see if it's true? Sweeps week. That story aired Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night because they didn't have a lot else going on. It was the lead story on their website, generating massive hits and comments for them. It even included video of Michael Berry, conservative talk host, doing the unthinkable, drinking a beer. On video. Ha! Busted. Video killed the radio star. Drinking a beer. I should get credit for that line. I came up with it. No one else did. They're slow on the take. The investigative reporter reported breathlessly, and rather admiringly, may I say, that I had 5 o'clock evening shadows. Something sinister was clearly going on inside that bar if I had 5 o'clock evening shadows and drank a beer. And now, Mr. Barry is seen on the video walking to the restroom. Yes, he went in a bar, he drank a beer, and then he pissed. Holy smokes, we got him! I made thousands of jokes about the silliness of the local newspaper over the past few years. And clearly I ticked some people off over there. The few people who were left at the daily newspaper joined in, keeping the story as breaking news for days on end. No new developments, so let's just make some up. Let's just make them up. Unnamed sources tell us that there's a cover-up. Unnamed sources tell us that Michael Berry was in fact involved with Jimmy Hoffa's death. And we're going to find out about it coming up at 10. No payoff, but who cares? You tuned in. Well, let's go over the story piece by piece. The quote-unquote crime at the center of all this that I was accused of by an individual was never what this story was about, so we'll get to that in a minute. Saying gay bar and conservative talk host in one sentence repeatedly, oh, that's too awesome for a news station to pass up. You know why? Because conservatives hate gays, or so we're told. Conservatives are all gay bashers, apparently. They don't want gays getting married. They hate gays. In fact, I heard from gays all over the country on websites, by email. Some even managed to get through by phone. I heard from these folks that because I went to a bar where some of the patrons are gay, and because all conservatives are gay-bashing homos, and I'm a bad person. Well, I don't bash gays. In fact, I bash people who bash gays. I've repeatedly on this show criticized Karl Rove for using the hatred of gays as a way to mobilize some people to vote, only to support a big government Republican. So, Michael Berry's accused of a terrible crime. Is it a terrible crime? Is it an often prosecuted crime? Is it worthy of CSI? Was there a cover-up? Cover-up? A cover-up? Are you effing kidding me? 8 officers to come and look at the truck? A cover-up? A freaking cover-up? No. It's a smear campaign. In Channel 2, I got you in my sights. I've got some unnamed sources on you SOBs. Trust me, that unnamed source game, you can say whatever you want about me. You can do that. I do not care. I do not care. I am your rival in the media. We compete for advertisers. We compete for viewers. Last I checked, I'm winning. You will not smear my name and me go down without a fight. Make sure you understand that. But let me get to a bigger issue, because I've heard from 2 groups around the country. One, the most aggressive, are these gay advocacy groups that say, yeah, Michael Berry, you conservative talk host, yeah, you went to a bar where some of the people inside were gay. Yeah, that's what you get for hating gay people. Really? I hate gay people? You jackass, you never listen to my show! Get your facts right, you stupid fools! You want people to hate you. I've never hated gay people. In fact, I've gone the absolute opposite direction in telling Republicans to stop focusing on a hatred of gay people, because that's not the issue facing this country. I've called out clowns. I'm one of the only people on the media on either side to call out the clowns for their ridiculous gay hating. Like Pat Robertson, who after 9/11 made the stupid statement that the reason we were attacked on 9/11 is because of homosexuals. He's one of those people so obsessed with homosexuals that everything that happens badly, Haiti had an earthquake because of homosexuals. I made a parody about it, and I heard from plenty of you who love Pat Robertson. Why was I taking the side of the gays? Was I one? I don't have to bash gays to prove I'm not one. I don't care what you think. And I don't think that by bashing gays, it makes you any more a man, and certainly doesn't make you any more a Christian. You'll remember Nobody else was doing parodies like this about Pat Robertson after he came out yet again and blamed the Japanese tsunami on gay people.
All right, people, big day, big day. Let's get this production meeting going. All right, Reverend Robertson, you haven't been in the news in a while. We need something to get you on the front page. So today we thought we'd lead with the earthquake in Haiti. You've got hundreds of thousands of people possibly dead. We just want to know what your reaction would be.
Well, I think we should ask all of our listeners to pray for the people of Haiti for a speedy recovery and to be with the souls that have left this earth.
Well, Reverend, see, that's what everybody else is doing. How about we go in a different direction?
Well, then I think we should ask our listeners and our viewers to contribute from the bottoms of their heart. What they don't give to us, I believe they ought to send the rest down there to Haiti. Of course, they should route it through us, and we'll make sure it gets to the people in need and ministers to them.
Okay, Reverend, try it again. This time, be more controversial.
And you know, something happened a long time ago in Haiti, and people may not want to talk about it. They were under the heel of the French, Napoleon III and whatever. And they got together and swore a pact to the devil. They said, we will serve you if you'll get us free from the French.
Booyah! Oh, yeah! All right.
The televangelist Pat Robertson has spoken.
The remark left her speechless.
That it was theological ignorance coupled with arrogance.
Yeah, you know a lot of conservative gay bashers that would have taken on that issue? And may I say so myself, my Pat Robertson impersonation is not half bad. How many times have you heard me criticize Carl the Chin Man Rove for using gays as a diversion to try to get Republicans to the polls because he couldn't do it because his candidates were right on the issues? He had to make people hate gays. This whole obsession with gays is overwrought. At the core of this whole story and the repeated Channel 2 reports, because they got nothing better to put on than somebody who has better name ID than anybody on their station, is not a scratch on the car and who caused it and who pays for it. Oh, no, they didn't care about the truth and the investigation that was done. This has all been about how difficult our society, what a difficult time our society has with dealing with gays. Most straight men are frightened of being thought to be gay. And the only way to prove they're not is to bash gays. And gays are so damn mad at being hated simply for being gay that they accuse every straight person of being gay as well. Don't dare be nice to a gay guy or you may be gay too. The gay hatred is stupid. It occupies way too much time in our public discourse on both sides of the aisle. Fact is, today, this day, every single one of you will be served a meal by a gay person, or is sitting next to a gay person, or has a gay person working for you, or has a gay boss, or lives next door to a gay person, or has a relative you love dearly that's gay. They're not pedophiles or weirdos. They don't march in parades. They don't want to indoctrinate your children into gaydom, and they're not trying to tempt you into being gay either. Fact is, they want to be left the hell alone, just like the rest of us. They're good neighbors, or gaybers, if you will. They're good employees. They're good friends. And they're good family members. And if you're honest with yourself, you got somebody gay that fits into that category. And if you're not honest with yourself, it's because you just don't know. But an irrational fear of gays by some ignorant people forces gay people into hiding in plain sight. I'll remind you of Westboro Baptist Church, the group that you hate, the group that torments grieving family members of fallen soldiers when they're brought home to be buried. Do you know the whole reason they say they're doing that? Because they hate gays. Read their banners. They use the English word for cigarettes, starts with an F and ends with a G and has an A in the middle. That's all they care about is gay bashing. You hate Westboro Baptist Church. You hate what they do, which they do in the name of hating gays. tormenting grieving mothers who've just buried their sons who died at 20 in Afghanistan because they hate gays. That's crazy. There's more to this story. Stay tuned.